Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that has happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So, rather light week. We really did not have much of really anything happen for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, but today we're going to go over the stuff that has happened in the past week and kind of talk about where I'm at right now in terms of what I think could happen for Power Rangers at the Hasbro Pulse Premium 1027 event happening this upcoming Thursday. So let's go and get right on into it. So first up for this week, we have some Hasbro Pulse dates to talk about here. So, every once in a while we get some things like shipping out early from Hasbro Pulse or dates change around. Now, a lot of times this happens with an actual email sent out from Hasbro Pulse. It's like, hey, this item is shipping earlier than expected. And while we haven't had that happen just yet, thanks to John Green, who's always keeping an eye out for these kind of things, we have two items that are kind of going to be releasing a little earlier, and they're both GameStop items on Hasbro Pulse. So first up is the Yellow Ranger Morpher, which I think originally had a date for October. I think it actually had an earlier date, and then it got pushed to something, and then GameStop got it already, but now Pulse is going to get it. So Pulse claims that the Yellow Ranger Morpher is going to be released on their site on October 24th, so that is only a couple of days from now. It's this Monday, so it's definitely going to be right around the corner here for you guys getting that there. If you did not get it from GameStop, either in store, which I don't know if actually it's been found in store, but off of GameStop's website or anything like that, you'll be able to get it off of Hasbro Pulse here pretty soon. And then also, speaking of GameStop stuff, and the thing that I'm actually pretty excited about finally being able to get here in the US is the Color Swap 2-pack. So originally, I think that had a date of December 1st, same as GameStop's website, but they have moved that one up now to November 1st on Hasbro Pulse. So it looks like that one is going to be right around the corner, and I think they've even moved the date up on GameStop's site to an earlier date in November, but I still don't think, I think it's fully moved out of the December realm that it was originally put up for when the set went up for pre-order back in March, but we've seen that recently released in the UK. I talked about that on a couple episodes of Lightning Storm ago, so it's nice to see that this 2-pack is right around the corner, being our first figure sets, our first figure release to have the package-free plastic, or the plastic-free packaging, and no Tom Welling artwork on the box. It's definitely going to be a very interesting one here when it does release very soon. Next up for this week, we have some Amazon deals to talk about here. So this one's a little interesting because I don't know how long these are going to be going on, and it's kind of all over the place, but Amazon's just kind of been going nuts with deal coupons this past week. So we've seen this for a ton of different figures, all getting varying degrees of coupons added to them, and a lot of this, or pretty much all of these, are not reflected directly into the initial price. You have to click a button to apply the coupon, so you don't see that price immediately. And I also don't know how long these deals are lasting for, so hopefully by the time Lightning Storm is released and you guys are watching this episode, they are still something you can get or can take advantage of. But I really have no idea how long these are going to last. But basically, they're up there right now for some of Wave 10, specifically In Space Pink and Phantom Ranger, both great figures. Pretty much all of Wave 11, the COG or Dino Fury Red. So great idea, or great time to army build that regular COG with the Tonfas. You have Deluxe Wave 1, Galaxy Glider, In Space Blue, and Piranha's Head. Eye Guys up there. So, just tons of random Lightning Collection figures. They're not really, like I said, they're kind of the more recently released retail ones from kind of the beginning of 2022, kind of sort of the end of 2021-ish. So that's a great deal. So I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link, which if you use that link, it helps out my channel a little bit there. It costs you nothing extra. And since there's so many, I'm not going to leave a direct one for every single figure. I'm just going to kind of do a general Lightning Collection one. And then you guys can go from there and see which ones have coupons and stuff. But it's mainly the Wave 10, 11, Deluxe Wave 1s, stuff like that has that deal. But still pretty good, though, to take advantage of while it's still a thing that is active. Next up, we have these Street Fighter figures to talk about for this week, because it looks like they're actually right around the corner from releasing, or at least some of them are. So a couple of nights ago, Big Bad Toy Store started sending out those emails of, hey, this item is going to be arriving here pretty soon, you can add it to your pile of loot here pretty soon, or ship it out pretty soon. And those were for two of the Street Fighter figures upcoming in the Lightning Collection, specifically the Ryu Ranger Crimson Hawk and the Chun-Li Blazing Phoenix Ranger figures seem to be right around the corner from release at Big Bad Toy Store. So Okay, so I did not expect these figures to be out so soon, but it definitely seems like we're going to have, people having them in hand and seeing them and everything like that before the end of 2022. They were currently still up for, like, I think, was it February 1st? It was a February 1st or March 1st release of 2023 when they were announced during Power Week back in August, and I kind of thought that was going to hold pretty true because the release dates are becoming a little bit better. Still not great. I'm looking at you, Wave 12, wherever you are, but basically, like, it's been a little bit better, so I was kind of thinking that these would probably definitely be 2023 figures, but it definitely seems like it's not the case. So if you pre-ordered them back during August, you probably got those Big Bad Toy Store emails. I moved my pre-orders over from Hasbro Pulse to Big Bad Toy Store as soon as the emails went out, so I don't know. Hopefully that actually means that my order can ship sooner, because I really want to get these two figures. The other two, the Ken and the Cammy, I can wait on those ones a little bit because they're still pretty bad looking, but I do really want the Ryu and Chun-Li ones. I'm very excited for those figures. So hopefully they start shipping out soon. We'll start getting them in hand and see how they really are and how they compare to the rest of the collection and just what people think of them. So very excited for those, and I guess they're going to be out here pretty soon. And then what's really cool about the Street Fighter figures is artist Dave Raposa posted on their Twitter account the actual full picture of the artwork on the box. So as you know, Tom Whalen is no longer doing Lightning Collection illustrations, unfortunately, but they have been bringing in, I guess, new artists to do every kind of box. We don't really have any specifics on what's going on with the Wave 13 boxes. We've seen them, but we don't know who did that artwork. If anybody, if there was an actual artist who did that, if it was just a digital render that was put together by some intern or something. We have no idea, actually, because they made a very conscious effort to not detail or not focus on the Wave 13 boxes during PulseCon for some reason. We didn't get to see them in clear detail until the promo shots came out. But for the Street Fighters, during Power Week's live stream, during that one fan stream we had, they actually did focus in on the Street Fighters and did call out Dave Raposa for his work on these. But it was really cool to see Dave post the full picture of them, of Ryu and Chun-Li, and also of Ken and Cammy, which honestly, the Ken and Cammy ones I think look infinitely better here in the artwork than the actual figure designs turned out. I just really like the pose that he's got them in and the style of this artwork. And while I really miss Tom's artwork and would have loved to see what Tom could have done with these Street Fighter designs and his artwork style, this is still really pretty, and I really do like how it turns out on the side of the boxes for these. Because we know that one side of the box has the actual civilian Street Fighter character, Ryu will be on the side of the box, and then the Ryu Ranger's design will be on the other side, which is what Dave did here, and I love it. So if you want to see the full pictures of those, be sure to follow Dave on Twitter, and also Dave's Patreon has an actual in-depth kind of behind the scenes process of the Cammy figure specifically, of kind of how that art piece was put together, which I think is really cool. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to have a link to it in the description below, and you can, throw a couple dollars on that Patreon and see the process for it. So really cool, and I'd love to know, Hasbro, I'm just kind of saying this out into general, I would love to know who has done the artwork for all these upcoming boxes, and if they are watching or if they are willing to share, we would love to see the full art pieces. It was something that was always really cool for Tom to give us on his website, and I'd like to see it continue forward because whoever's doing the artwork, the packaging is gorgeous in my opinion in terms of that regard, but it's kind of uncharted territory with this new artists and kind of different box designs that we're getting. It's very interesting, but also very fascinating. And that brings us to Hasbro Pulse Premium 1027. So I first talked about this last weekend when it was officially announced to be a thing, and I had said last weekend that this weekend, the weekend before the event actually happens, I would kind of talk about where I'm at in terms of what I'm thinking is going to happen at 1027. Not much. Just going to go ahead and say it right there. Not expecting much. So 1027 is a Hasbro Pulse Premium exclusive event, all it really is the RSVP for you to get sent an unlisted YouTube live stream link to your email that really anybody could post, and therefore anybody could watch, but the idea is that it's supposed to be exclusive for their premium members. Sure, I get the sentiment. It's fine. But basically from there, what it was last year was this tour of Hasbro's headquarters where this one person went around to all the different brands, and basically every time they focus on a brand, it cut to basically a fan stream kind of setup to where you have people from the team on a Zoom call, and they kind of showed off packaging of something. Transformers showed off packaging or something they showed off at PulseCon, I think, and then G.I. Joe revealed, I think it was the Alley Viper figure if I remember correctly, but every brand revealed a figure and put one thing up for pre-order. Kind of Power Rangers as well. So Power Rangers, the In-Space Silver Ranger figure, went up for order on Hasbro Pulse with absolutely no warning at the end of 1027 last year, and Power Rangers was the only brand that got no product reveals during the actual 1027 event at all. Very, 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 very annoying. So this year, Power Rangers is on the list again to be part of 1027, and I'm hoping that we get a figure reveal, and I am expecting a figure reveal, or some kind of Lightning Collection reveal. Now, because of the nature of what this event is, do not expect more than one thing. If we get anything more than one thing, that's a miracle in my book, and I'm not expecting more than one thing. I don't even know if it's necessarily something good to expect one thing because of what happened last year, but basically also because of what it is, they're not going to do anything crazy. Like, they're not going to do anything big. Like, they're not going to reveal the Cobra Kai figures, I'm pretty sure, at this event, because since it is like a exclusive, premium live stream, it's not going to get as many eyes on it as like a typical stream would. So they're going to want to save the Cobra Kai thing for like a full-on stream, probably honestly a full-on stream dedicated to itself, because they made the TMNT a big deal, they made the Street Fighter a big deal. I'm sure it's probably something with the collaboration of the companies to where they have to make it some kind of special big deal when they announce it, and so they're not going to like hide that, I assume, in like a premium event on the side here. So there's a couple different products that I'm thinking of that could be our 1027 reveal, or of course, as always, they can just surprise us with something that we don't know about. But basically, I want to kind of go over the kind of products that I think we could see, starting with the Yellow Ranger helmet, which I think is probably the least likely item of the kind of three that I'm thinking of here. There's really three in mind that I have in mind in terms of what I think could be revealed at 1027, and this is definitely the least likely in my book. It's not impossible, but, it does complete the kind of trio here of Yellow Ranger stuff that they're doing, the Yellow Ranger Morpher and the Yellow Ranger Power Daggers, and I told you about a month ago, I leaked to you guys the Yellow Ranger helmet is also on the way, but I have no concrete details on it. I assume it's probably maybe a GameStop exclusive, or at least fan channel exclusive, but I could see that being revealed there, but I also feel like that's kind of too big of an item to show off. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's also just a perfect item to just throw into a stream, or honestly, that you can just throw into a social media post someday. You don't even really need to focus that on a stream. But because of that, I also could kind of see it be a 1027 reveal. I'm just not expecting a roleplay reveal. I'm expecting a figure reveal if we get that, because that's kind of, sort of what they've been doing at this last year. It's kind of hard to gauge exactly what to expect at 1027 since there has only been one of these events in the past before. But the second most likely item that I'm thinking of is, honestly, In Space Silver. I know that's really weird to say, but I still hold out hope that In Space Silver will one day actually be officially revealed. Is that just like me being, really, really optimistic for no actual reason? Yeah, probably. But we still have technically never had In Space Silver's official release. It did finally go up on the Walgreens website over the summer. It did go up on Hasbro Pulse numerous times, and I have sometimes received reports, actually a week ago I got a DM from somebody who said that they picked up an In Space Silver at a Walgreens, but they weren't sure if it was actually just already there, or if it was an online return that they picked up or something weird. So I don't know. There's still never really been a concrete, a picture with a tag in an actual physical Walgreens store that proves to me that In Space Silver actually released at a physical store. It's not an impossibility. It's still something that should happen, and maybe it's something that they will talk about at 1027. Maybe they'll be like, by the way, In Space Silver is getting another release, or it's actually getting its proper release, or whatever. So we'll have to see what happens, but honestly, I am kind of in the back of my mind thinking maybe In Space Silver gets a redemption here at 1027 this time around after they fumbled it so bad last year. But honestly, my top pick for what I think they could reveal at 1027 is that elusive Tango Warrior 2-pack. I've been talking about that thing for nearly a year. I leaked that back in December of 2021. I showed you this picture of it in April to prove to you that it was a thing that actually exists. It has a Hasbro product number. It has not really a code name, it's just Tango Warrior 2-pack. But we have seen nothing on this pack at all. It missed out on every event. It missed out Power Week. It missed out PulseCon. But honestly, 1027 feels like the perfect opportunity for this thing, because 1027, like I said earlier, is not a major event. It's just a special thing for premium members that they will eventually release regularly. It will be eventually uploaded to the public, but Pulse Premium gets us to see it first. And it kind of just feels like the perfect opportunity to reveal this pack that probably not a lot of people care about, and that they can kind of just throw onto Pulse. I think it's supposed to be a fan channel release, so throw it up onto Pulse, throw it up onto fan channel retailers, and be done with it. And if you want it, get it. If you don't care, who cares? I think that's a perfect item for something like this. And if we don't see the Tango Warrior 2-pack at 1027, I'm going to be more and more inclined to believe that it's just been canceled, because I don't know what happened to this thing. It's definitely something that was planned and just has never appeared, and I don't know what's happening with it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a 2-pack of Tengas. I don't know what, if anything, is special or different between this new release and the original Wave 9 release. I think it's just 2 Wave 9 figures, or 2 Wave 9 Tengas put into a box together, which, okay, I mean, for army building purposes, that's perfectly fine, but it's also incredibly skippable if that's exactly what it is. So I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't be disappointed if we never see this, but I'm sure a lot of people will also be very disappointed if that's the only thing that we see at 10/27. But like I said, I'm just putting it in my mind, and I want to say it out loud so you guys can also kind of keep that expectation, is don't expect a ton at 10/27, and expect probably like one item that's probably not going to be like the most exciting thing in the world, like the Tenga 2-pack, or finally announcing in Space Silver, or the Yellow Ranger helmets. And then of course, there's always the idea of just something we don't know about. That's always on the table. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen occasionally to where they reveal something that I don't know about, that everybody else doesn't know about. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens at 10/27. And just to kind of give you guys a heads up of how I'm planning on covering this, I'm not planning on doing a live stream reaction for it, for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a post-premium event, so not a lot of people can watch it along with me. And yes, I could post that unlisted link, but I feel like that's kind of a dick move to do, so I'm not going to do that. I will be live tweeting it on Lightning Fig PR though on Twitter, so be sure to follow my Twitter account there so you can see all the updates from it, and I will be including like screenshots from it in there, in those live tweets, so be sure to watch that. And also, it's going to be like right after the end of a class for me, because it's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time this upcoming Thursday. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know when the Power Ranger section is actually going to kick in, so it's like kind of hard to schedule a live stream reaction around it. But basically, I plan on live tweeting it, and then I plan on getting a Lightning Storm recap up for it. But I'm also going to be having I'm going to have a very busy Thursday. I have some plans that were already scheduled before this was a thing, so I'm trying to figure out how to work around that. But my goal is to live tweet it and to put a Lightning Storm episode out for it on Thursday, which would probably negate one on Saturday, but well, maybe not, because I could probably just do one specifically on 10/27 and then one next Saturday like I would anyway. But just stay tuned for my coverage on 10/27, but I'm just saying there will not be a live stream reaction to it if you were expecting that. And with that, that is everything we have to talk about for this week on Lightning Storm. Of course, until next time, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on anything I talked about down in the comments below, and you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or Lightning Fig PR, and I'll see you all on Lightning Storm. The series for Lightning always strikes twice.